So we're making that transition over from early game EU4 to kind of late game. I mean, it's kind of that, middle part, and I think there's a lot of great powers that are growing. There's a lot of different possibilities that are starting to play out. It's going to make for a very exciting end of this campaign.
I mean, for instance, what's going to happen with China? China is a pretty big, force when looking into what's going to be, what's the world going to be looking like and what kind of conflicts are going to be going on towards the later eras, or I guess the later centuries in this series. The fact that Poland is just growing so much in strength, as well as so is Byzantium, even though they've been quiet for a little bit. Persia as well. What's going to happen with Venice and their massive, all these alliances, which is insane. England just lost a bunch of territory, so who knows if France is going to become kind of the new England? They could. They definitely could. Obviously the Mayans are a big question mark in my mind. What's going to happen with the Mayans is they are pretty much going to be able to, I think, roam through most of Western North America completely, unthreatened by any other nation. The Americans and the Iroquois is completely kind of preoccupied, and they're going real slow. What's going to happen with all the Portuguese colonies? I think that's a pretty safe bet that they're going to gain their independence at some point. I don't even know what Polynesia's doing. I really loved Polynesia in the very beginning, but they kind of have been really quiet so far. It looks like they are just focusing in on these islands out here, but I'd like to see them play a bigger role, I guess, in Southeast Asia. Anyways, let's go and check the conflicts going on in the world. We've got Spain versus Morocco. Spain, again, Morocco is destined to be kicked out of Northwest Africa, I apologize, and they'll be, kind of left to colonize sub-Saharan Africa and islands wherever they have colonized so far. They do have a few islands, but they'll probably also eventually get to Latin America, I think. I think they will. Really depends on a few different scenarios. And then we have this really sort of, aggressive Poland right now. Poland has been at war in the last maybe four videos, I think. They've constantly been at war, constantly taking over territory. They went to an initial war with Russia, then they went after Germany, then they went back at war with Russia. And most of this is being occupied by Poland. I know that Sweden wants this. For themselves, but they're too slow. And Sweden doesn't even have really the military at all to be able to really do damage to Russia, as well as to occupy a lot of these provinces. Russia's done a good job at building forts, though. I will give them that. Look at that. The only province that Sweden has occupied for themselves, Russia's trying to unoccupy. Is that a fort? Yeah, that's a fort. The Polish are going to be able to do whatever they want. Do the Polish still have a military, though? Man, I'm surprised that Russia still has a 34 stack here. That's kind of crazy. Where is Sweden at? Hey, Sweden, it looks like Poland is actually going to need a little bit of your help. You better peace out soon, actually, Poland. Because as soon as that becomes unoccupied, yep, you're going to lose several battles. So they're going to run around doing whatever they want for a little bit, pushing the Polish out. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's not count out Russia. I will not make that mistake again. The Celts are at war with Canada. Okay, we'll see how that goes. I don't think that's going to go too well. Spain has 36 war scores so far with Morocco. Babylon versus Egypt. Very minor wars going on. Oh, Syria and Egypt. And then Sweden, Russia Sweden. Oh, that's a war declared by Sweden, though. Keep that in mind. But Poland might be like the big, if they end up turning the war around, because Russia looks like they have a pretty big advantage so far. Okay, so we have probably the end of Egypt, it looks like. Assyria, not at the end, because I forgot about this territory over here. Babylon might survive, going along the kind of the tip of the Arabian Peninsula. I didn't even realize that Babylon had colonized the Arabian Peninsula. That's going to save them, because Persia will ultimately destroy Babylon, I think. Actually, it's not going to save them. Persia will eventually take this stuff over. Right? Yeah, I think so. I still need to be double-checking to see if anyone has become, kind of under a personal union or maybe a vassalization. Greece could be up for vassalizing at some point just because they are, becoming smaller and smaller. All that stuff is important to kind of look into. Even Germany. Germany could become an ally at some point. Germany has no alliances either. Things to keep in mind. Austria has lots of friends, but France and Denmark. So Austria and Denmark are really being saved by France right now. Very smart move for them. I can't believe Russia still has strength. That's kind of incredible. I mean, I should have thought about that because Russia was almost holding off Poland and Denmark at the same time. Sweden's not even trying. They're just chilling back at home. Aren't they? Yep, it's Stockholm. They're just chilling by Stockholm. Hey, the Canadians are over here trying to go after Celtic territory in Scandinavia. That's funny. Oh, so yeah, this is not going to go so well. This stuff will probably become uncolonized if Canada actually sends regiments over, which they have a regiment right there, but they're not doing anything with it. The Celts are just desperately trying to survive. Also notice that the French now have 4 provinces, so they will probably form a colony in between Canada, the Iroquois, and America. I wonder what that's going to be called. French, maybe it's going to be just called French Canada. It could. I don't know what it'd be called when it becomes ultimately independent at some point, but that might be interesting. Is this Babylon? So crazy to see, very weak nations, Egypt and Babylon, and then kind of a, average to below average nation like Assyria, the only ones colonizing southern India. That, I don't know if that's really, I don't know what's going to happen. It's probably really good because India will be able to take that back at any point. Okay, so boom, Babylon's done with Egypt. They control even more of the Arabian Peninsula. Assyria has yet to peace out with Egypt just yet, but obviously these 2 provinces are going to be gone, and Egypt will be banned to Indian Egypt, I think. Ooh, is this Polynesia? There you go, Polynesia. Good job, buddy. Very good. I was hoping that you'd do a little bit more, and now you're in the Philippines. That's very cool. I'm hoping that somebody is going to be able to match the Chinese power. Especially, I mean, it's just good that the Indonesians have taken over this region, but I don't think that they're going to be able to hold on to this stuff, especially without any alliances. You're not going to be allied to Japan? Geez, that might be really bad because China could just swoop in on this Indonesian colony, Indonesian South China. It's already called China. I mean, that's really bad. Spain has, Morocco is back at war with Songhai. Well, I guess vice versa. Songhai probably saw that Morocco was not doing so well. So Spain has a stronger hold on northwest Africa. And again, Morocco's probably going to be eliminated here. Whoa! Okay, so Austria at war with Germany. Smart move for Austria. This might be able to kind of get them back in the game somewhat. Sweden's no longer winning their war with Russia, even with their ally Poland involved. We've got America versus the Iroquois. I've been waiting for that war forever. Surprised that it took this long. Byzantium versus Greece. So Byzantium's probably going to destroy Greece here. The Celts in Canada, Songhai, and Morocco. Let's go ahead and look into the American-Iroquois War. This could lead to big things. These are really the only powers that are still in North America that might be able to match the Mayans. I think the Mayans are going to continue to colonize to the north. I don't think they care much about, moving down south to more Central American territory. Because why would they? There's so much more land to the north. And the north could also, Western California and, Western Canada and the United States could still be colonized by someone like, Polynesia, China even, the Japanese. So it'd be smarter for them to go after this region anyways and then lock it off so they can go inland after that. This stuff doesn't really matter. It's going to be colonized by somebody else anyways, no matter what they do. Okay, so it looks like the Americans have the advantage. They won a few battles. The Iroquois are only about at, 10,000 troops now. So I think this will be a pretty big win for Washington. But we'll see. Is Canada still at war with the Celts? They are. They are technically. And Austria has already peaced out with Germany, so they only took 3 provinces, something like that. 2 provinces away from Germany. Germany's not doing so well. The Netherlands and Poland will probably attack soon again. Wow. All right. So even though it looked like Russia was losing that war, Poland still managed to take even more provinces. Jeez. I mean, technically, I thought Russia should have won. They pushed them both out. I didn't see a Polish-Swedish military. I mean, I guess Poland came back with a little bit, but Russia still had the advantage. They still had the advantage. Oh, Poland's... Whoa. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, what just happened? Venetian conquest of Austria, Wien. And because... Oh my gosh. Oh, dang. So Austria managed to get up an alliance with Byzantium. That was key. Wow. Okay. So we've got France and Byzantium, who I was, mentioning a lot. Jeez, this is a crazy war. This is the biggest, most insane European war we've seen. I think this in a while, maybe in a while, even compared to the previous. Because remember, the Victorian era really weakened Europe, which I didn't like very much. But this is an insane European war. Okay. I don't know. I don't really know who would win this. It looks like Venice probably still has the advantage. But Byzantium and France working together here could be big. And Poland just got out of a war. So Venice wants Wien. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Let's keep in mind that if Venice is successful in this conflict, that will probably, like I said, ultimately lead to a Polish-Venetian rivalry at some point. There's only a very thin strip of Austrian land that's keeping Poland and Venice from bordering each other. And it's just usually likely that when nations start to border each other, they don't like each other as much. Unless, especially if they're both great powers. Wow. So we'll see how much the Byzantium Empire contributes. Byzantium has not been at war for very long. I mean, even though Assyria is involved here, they don't really have the military, I think. If Byzantium is smart, they'll attack Venice. They need to attack Venice. Oh, man, I don't know who's going to win this. This is big. Oh, the fact that English separatists have risen up in French lands, because that's going to keep France from just, pushing forward and protecting their ally. Yeah, I think Venice still has a pretty big advantage, especially because all Venice has to do is grab, what the claim was for. They grab what the claim is for, they're going to get a bunch of war score. But, who knows? It could definitely end in a stalemate. Syria still isn't pieced out with Egypt, so they might really not be contributing much. The Americans have 47 war score, and the Celts are losing their war with Canada. Pretty crazy stuff. Songhai also took away still a little bit from Morocco, but Morocco's still alive. Songhai's going to have to face like a resurrected Morocco from the south at some point. And we will see very soon how much America takes exactly from the Iroquois. So, modern day Canada is going to be very messy between France, the Celts, Canada, and, actual colonial Canada, kind of. Technically, it's not a colony, but yeah, and the Iroquois. After the Iroquois get pushed away from, a lot of the modern day United States territory. Bam. Well, they're still here, but they did get, they're now mainly in the north though. Still, very smart war for Washington to get into. We'll see what happens after this. Bam! Egypt has been kicked out of their Egyptian territory. Now they are just in India. They're just in India, and Assyria now can do whatever they want. Now Assyria can also fight the Byzantine. So it also really depends on who is able to, get other allies out of the war. Who is able to get who out of the war first. Jeez. This is just really pretty to look at, too. I mean, that's also something that I really like. I mean, I think that this stuff is kind of weird for me to say pretty, but it does. It looks kind of cool. That's another thing that I really love about EU4 is being able to see, these map modes like this. It looks awesome. So what's going on with Spain? Spain seems to not be too heavily involved. Actually, who knows? The war has been going on for several months now. They could definitely be reinforcing Venetian territory. Most of the conflicts are taking place inside of the heart of Austria, so it's just insanity, I think, going on in here. We've got France moving through Netherlands territory, which France, I think, is being forced to go back. Oh my gosh, Byzantium and Austria, all of their alliances are actually moving back towards French territory because I think they lost just a pretty big conflict. I think they lost a pretty big war. See, ultimately, Venice controls the province that they declared the war for, so that is going to lead them to a lot. Oh, why? Sweden just declared war on Denmark. Now, Sweden is not involved in this war. They saw that probably Denmark had lost a lot of troops, and now Sweden... Oh my gosh, look at that. So if you look at it, it gets even crazier when you look at what Denmark is in. Wow. That is pretty insane. So Sweden will be going after Danish territory. I don't really know. This is really going to hurt the alliance, the Danish alliance, that is. So I'm guessing all these guys are allied to each other now, right? No, not technically. Oh, no, 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 no. Just Denmark. I see. Because Denmark is involved with the Austrian War. It's Austria that brought a lot of these powers together, mainly Byzantium and France. So we'll see if they have a higher opinion of each other after this. Again, that would be a very crucial alliance for them to get up. That would really lead to a lot of things. How are the Huns doing? Huns seem to have pretty much halted their colonization. And it's still a race out here. Did I mention that the Ottomans were destroyed? No, I don't think I did. Assyria ended up destroying the Ottomans, or maybe it was Byzantium, I'm not sure. Problem for Byzantium is they've been locked off. They are locked to only going to war, pretty much. Okay, so Poland and Venice. I think because Poland got involved, that really swayed it towards the Venetian team. Jeez, look at this. Look at that. Wow. Spain, Assyria, Venice. 100 stack. All right, so maybe they had no chance at all. So Austria might be destroyed here. Notice that Poland is trying to grab a lot of this territory for themselves. Yep, this is going to make things even more interesting, I think, in Europe. We've got the Celts and Canada. Oh, we've known about that. Never mind. Negative 26 war score. Did Spain peace out? I thought I saw some movement here with the font. I guess not. I mean, that could have been. England also dealing with some rebels. England's kind of screwed. But if France loses this war really bad, then they could have an advantage of maybe taking things back. I mean, who knows how long that truce will be? 1578. So they'd still have to wait 70 years. That won't be enough. France, even if this war lasts another 2 years, France will probably regain their strength. And that's also, assuming that France gets absolutely destroyed, which I don't think. They're just sitting here with a 50 stack because they probably don't want to get involved anymore. They're like, oh, screw it. Austria's done. So France, you're going to have to find some friends elsewhere. Maybe with Portugal. No, Portugal doesn't like you either. We need to be checking in on the colonial, the Portuguese colonial provinces, or the Portuguese colonies, because they will be declaring their independence, I'm guessing, within the 17th century, or the next century at some point. I doubt it this early on, but that Caribbean colony will certainly be declaring their independence at some point. Really like the Iberian borders. I think they're kind of cool. Kind of a E sort of thing. It looks like E, the letter E. So let's see what happens. Poland seems to have lost a little bit of their occupied territory. Ooh, even the Netherlands are involved. Wait, did I? Oh, I knew the Netherlands were involved. Never mind. Fonts are moving. It's because of colonization. Spain might have colonized something that maybe they could have colonized something. Byzantium hiding in the province of Paris as well. Now it's who's this? Spain and the Netherlands. Well, at least France is protecting their territory, and Byzantium is protecting their own too. So the big powers here are okay. It's Austria that's going to lose a lot. Denmark hasn't technically fallen to Sweden just yet. I don't think there's really anything that's been occupied. I think Denmark no longer cares about defending Austria anymore. They're probably being selfish, and that's smart, just kind of defending themselves. Wait a second. When did the Celts? Oh, the Danish and the Celts are allied. I see. And so the Celts are actually doing more damage to the Swedish than Denmark is. But that's very nice of the Celts. Even though they only have 2 provinces in modern-day Norway, they're giving up all their occupations to Denmark, so that's cool. That's very nice of them. Yep, Sweden's at negative 30 war score. All right, yeah, so I think we might have been giving Sweden a bit more credit than they deserve. Don't think they're as powerful as maybe we thought. But anyways, guys, I'm about to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.